Bismillahirrahmanirrahim ji. My name is Farhan Lodhi. I am working as an environment specialist with Sindh Solid Waste Management Board. So today I would like to explain to you about a very welcoming infrastructure which has been added to our solid waste management framework, which is the sanitary engineered landfill site. This facility is established with the help of the World Bank SWEEP project. And primarily the SWEEP project was supposed to basically develop the backbone infrastructure for the Karachi, and which included 4 modern garbage transfer stations and 1 sanitary engineered landfill site at Sarjani. This is a very good infrastructure, first ever in Karachi and hopefully first ever in Pakistan. So what was happening before that was that the Karachi city had no proper sanitary engineered landfill site, and the waste was being dumped openly on the grounds. So once the waste is dumped openly, after the decomposition process of the waste, the gaseous emissions go into the environment, which are very hazardous, which are like mainly the greenhouse gases like methane, carbon dioxide, and some nitrous and sulfur oxides too. And secondly, after the decomposition process, a leachate is produced, which is in a liquid form, and the ground is porous, our soil is porous, so that all leachate goes or percolates into the groundwater and contaminates our groundwater aquifer. This is an engineered landfill site, which is developed on international standards like US EPA subtitle D specifications. This is a world-class infrastructure, I would like to tell you some features of this landfill facility. This contains like 5 cells. So the concept of the cell is this, that a cell is a kind of a trench which creates a space so that we can put more waste into it. And that's I will come to the working phase operations, that how will we basically be doing it. And these are mainly called the controlled tipping phases, and then there are the modern weighbridge systems being installed in this facility. Internal road work is being established, and the leachate control system is one part, and the landfill gas collection is also a part of this project. Process of the construction of the landfill site mainly contains that since we make it in the form of a trench, so at the bottom we compact the the ground level so that the percolation rate for the leachate could be reduced. So on top of it, we place a high density ethylene geomembrane, and then the geotextile protection liner, a drainage liner for the piping, and the leachate collection system, as well as the gas collection system. So this is a very expensive infrastructure. So now this facility is primarily developed for the municipal solid waste only. So this is a good news for the people of the Karachi, mainly because the sanitation index of the city will improve significantly by having this facility on ground. So there is a Chinese company called CCTAB who had basically constructed this landfill site. This is a state-owned company of China, and they are very well reputable in this kind of a business. In this whole scheme of operations, as I told you that we will be having the strict SOPs in place during the operational process of this landfill operations after the execution of this landfill site. So for that, previously we had organized a 3-day training workshop where the people who were supposed to be operating this landfill were educated on how to do this, because construction is one thing, but managing the landfill site is again a very critical component. So the waste comes like unchecked as of now, but once the landfill will be operational, we'll make sure that there will be certain level of positions we have created, like waste acceptance officers. These will be the people who will be initially checking exactly like what quality of waste is being brought into the landfill site. So this, as I said earlier, that this landfill facility is only for the municipal solid waste. So any other kind of waste like industrial waste or probably radioactive waste, the toxic waste, infectious waste, these waste kinds are not allowed in this facility. The reason is this, that while the waste is deposited in the landfill site, there are many chances that this waste gets some sort of a chemical reaction and turns into a fire or any sort of a hazard. So I will briefly explain you what happens. Once the vehicle will arrive at the landfill site, basically it will be checked by the waste acceptance officer. We have fixed a frequency of like 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 15. So he will be checking the waste loads visually and assess whether if the contents of the waste are purely municipal solid waste, they will allow them to basically go to the weigh bridge. Now the weigh bridge is the step where the vehicle is actually weighed, and through every vehicle will be issued like the tags. The tags are read by the RFID readers, and the vehicle will be passed on. And once the vehicle is passed on, we have the metallic roads which are just made for this new landfill site. So there will be the waste spotters standing along the route of the vehicle, and they will be guiding them exactly where the vehicle needs to go. Okay, so once the vehicle approaches the cell, so at the cell operation is the heart of the sanitary landfill management. So at this we have like a number of positions who will be monitoring the waste, how is the waste is being managed on the cells. So the waste is normally spread in layers. Once the vehicle dumps off the waste, then we have the dozers. So the dozers usually push the waste up to like 15 meter or 20 meter, and once the waste is spread, the density of the waste is less, probably 400 to 500 millimeters, or maybe 1.5 feet. So after the waste is spread out, the second process is that we have to run the dozer over the waste layer, which will increase the density of the waste. So increasing the density of the waste means that we are saving the airspace of the very costly infrastructure laid down, because we do not want to. Okay, so the dozer will do the 5 runs over the waste, like one like in a cross form and one in the diagonal. So once this dozer is done like this way, so the density of the waste will increase to probably 900 kgs per cubic meter, or probably 1000 kgs per cubic meter ideally. So once this is done, so the last step is putting the soil cover on daily basis on the compacted layers on the cell. So this is very important because it reduces the vectors, rodents, and it won't attract any like a bird to the sites, so this is the process. Now there are different positions, different people who will be doing different types of jobs. So our main focus will be like I said earlier, is on the training of the staff, because this is the first ever sanitary engineer landfill site in Pakistan, in Karachi. So we had a very detailed session with the people who are actually will be running this facility, and we are taking their tests and assessing their abilities, capabilities, how fit enough they are to basically work under very harsh conditions, because the summer is coming up, and it will be really difficult to work in different shifts. So this landfill probably be working in 3 shifts, but initially we will be sending fewer loads to this new landfill site, just to help the new contractor get used to of the SOPs, the compaction levels, and how much how to utilize the space in the best form. And there are certain formulas for different activities involved in the sanitary landfill operations. Another thing I would like to say, that this infrastructure includes this leachate collection system at the bottom. And this, due to the decomposition of the waste, there is a very toxic liquid which is like is produced as a process of decomposition of the waste, which happens in anaerobic conditions. So this waste, we have collection system within this landfill site, and it will be taken to the leachate treatment ponds, where this waste will be treated. The treated means that we will be doing the oxidation, sedimentation, flocculation, and once the toxicity of the leachate is reduced to a certain level, So we will be re-sprinkling it over the waste, and it will be a cycle process happening, all the time. So cell operation is like a geometry. So we have to make sure that this geometry aligns with the planning process, and we do not go, because this is a very risky thing. If you go for like randomly dump the waste on a planned landfill facility, there are many chances that it will convert into a open dumping site, which we do not want to happen. So for that, we have made the JDs of the people, and we have distributed those JDs and made them aware of their tasks. And we ourselves are also basically monitoring all the operational execution processes in very depth and detail. I would like to add one more thing. You know what I mean? This landfill will have the landfill gas capturing facility also. So what does this mean? Solid waste management, like this landfill site, once the waste is decomposed, the methane gas comes out. It is the same gas which is used in our house to cook food and all that. So, and along with this is the carbon dioxide, and then sulfur oxides and nitrous oxides. So our target, the methane gas is the highest potent greenhouse gas, and its global warming potential for the greenhouse gas is 28, which is very high. So we have an arrangement through World Bank with the transformative carbon asset facility that we for the period of 2026 up to 2030, we are responsible to reduce and treat the verified emission reductions, like how much gas is the tentative volume which we have assessed is roughly 1.6 million tons. So against this much reduction of the methane going into the atmosphere, rather we will capture it, and initially we will flare it, and in the future course we are proposing that we can go to the waste to energy, or either to the biomethanol, or there are different technologies available. This is something very positive, that we are heading towards something which has never been done before. And yes, it's a good news for the people of the Karachi, and it will be a very good addition that the pollution level will be reduced, and it can be a learning site for, I would say, for the students also, like the university students or the people who are studying in this field particularly, but they have no actual place to go and see how the modern landfill system works. So this is a good opportunity, will attract the youth more to learn about this science, and actually we have a lot of vacuum in this solid waste management profession. So we need to basically train people. So yes, this is all I would like to say. And at last, this is not just a disposal facility. This is a modern environmental infrastructure and a climate aligned asset. So yes, dumping is being done properly, but we are achieving some bigger targets too, which are aligned with we have our country have signed some treaties with the UNFCCC Article 6 obligations through NDCs, which actually tells us that the Pakistan is supposed to be reducing their GHG emissions to 50% by 2030. So this is one major step towards that goal, since the waste management is one of the major sector who is basically involved in this or either counted in this process. So yes, this is a very positive step, a very welcoming step, and we are very excited to announce it, and we hope that it becomes a real climate change asset for us. And this is how the Karachi will transition toward a more modern waste management system in future. Thank you.